Have you ever seen an ad for a mobile game that was so terribly bad? You start to think how it was even created in the first place? And then you start to feel bad. Feel bad for that employee in the meeting room in his 9-to-5 job listening to his boss pitch these terrible game ideas. Well, me too. And now most people stop there. However, I go farther. I'm gonna recreate these games and make them good. Well, so I opened one of these hyper-casual mobile games that just try and reap as much money as they can, and I went through some of the ads and looked for some games, and this is the one I picked out. I feel like it fully represents the garbage mobile game industry. So after whatever that was, I started thinking about the mechanics, but not too much. I knew it had to be a third-person game, and I've never made a third-person game in the past, and there's obvious reasons why. You need to create character animation, and I think my brain is actually broken after doing that, because it was so much harder than I thought it was going to be. Creating an animation, ranking a character, and doing all of that, and also adding a sword, and it sent me insane. But let's move on. So I started off by creating just a basic movement, and then I moved into combat. I don't know why I created melee combat, it didn't fit the game at all. However, I really wanted to, and I based it off Minecraft. Minecraft combat system is really cool, because it allows you to combo people. That's where when you hit them, they go backwards and up. That allows you to do stuff like this, which is really cool. So I added it to the game, and it works perfectly. Now, it's not exactly how Minecraft does it, however, I still think it's a cool mechanic. Next comes the solid 2 to 3 weeks of just pain. Pain of 3D modeling, rigging, animating this dumb character. Oh my gosh, I was clinically insane.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
Because the armature wouldn't work, the animations weren't timed correctly. Oh my gosh, the animations, the triggers. In the middle of that week, I was deciding whether I should create this game. But then I looked myself in the mirror and decided I had to. For that guy in the meeting room listening to his boss pitch those terrible ideas, I stand with him. After quite frankly the worst 3 weeks of my life, I had done it. I had done the impossible. Well, it's not really impossible, a lot of other people do it, it's not that. I had done the impossible. Now, the running animation was pretty good, and so was the idle animation, but it was the sword fight animation that did not work. I had to have the sword and the swing animations perfectly aligned and timed, and it just didn't work. So this one I'm gonna have to go with. It's not terrible. It definitely, you can tell it's swinging, but yeah, I'm gonna have to go with it. I'm gonna lose my mind. Next, I had to create the enemy. Now, I ran into a problem that I totally did not expect. I didn't have a plan of what I was gonna do. I just added sword combat without actually knowing how I was gonna implement it. So that's something I would have done differently. I would have thought and went through the entire game before I started just creating mechanics randomly. But I ended up just tying it in, and it kind of made it cool because of something I'm gonna add next. Ragdolls. Normally very difficult to make. However, with the Unity game engine, it has never been easier. Or so I thought. I thought I had named my character's bones perfectly. I followed the tutorial and it worked like a charm. However, when I dragged everything in, this is what happened. Now, I don't know what's possessing my character right now, but something's happening. He's either have a seizure. Like, do I give him CPR or something? Why would you give CPR for a seizure? Anyway, something clearly went wrong. However, when I implemented it into the game, it worked flawlessly. This is what happened. So, I don't know what's going on, but I'll take it. So I had to use some logic to activate and then deactivate the colliders and rigid bodies. Next, I added some cool colors, and then I needed to create the allied bots. To create the allied bots, I cast a sphere around the bot and found if the player was in it. If the player was, then I moved the bot to a specific game object that was next to the player. It's not pretty, but it works. Finally, I changed the color palette once again. I created a platform, rotating obstacles, and it is working perfectly. In my opinion, the gameplay isn't great, but the graphics are so satisfying. Now the colors of the enemies and the players against the skybox look so cool with the obstacles, and then when you knock down a player and use a ragdoll, it is so cool. But that's just my opinion. Leave yours in the comments below. Now I know my game was supposed to be better than the other one, but I feel like there's good parts of both. If you in any way enjoy the video, consider subscribing. It is completely free and it helps out the channel loads. We're going full steam ahead for that 100 subscriber mark, and it would be cool to hit it. So thank you for watching, and I will see you next week with another video. Goodbye, everyone. Oh yeah, also this happened.